Good morning everyone. Today I come to you from the passenger seat. And why would I do that? Well, I tell you. So recently I've been having issues with my air conditioning, right? Maybe not so much the air conditioning, but the fans themselves aren't putting out the air that they used to. Car still gets to temperature, car still does what it normally does. It still blows out hot and cold air. It's not a head gasket, it's not a blown hose, there's no wet floors, there's no nothing, right? So it's a bit of a weird one. Unless you know, which a lot of people don't, that you have more than one air filter in your car. Alright, the air filter isn't just in your engine bay for the motor, you've also got a cabin filter. But yeah, I think I found the source of the problem. So you'd be used to seeing your glove box there. Pop down your glove box, and behind that glove box would be the metal bar that I just had. That metal bar would be sitting on the inside through here like that. You need to remove this bar. Easy enough, two 8mm, two 8mm and a screw, and then you get to this little bad boy. Okay, now you want to pop from the bottom, pull it up, and inside there shouldn't be all that shit, but you will have one of these, the clog. Maybe you can't see it, who knows. Everybody close your eyes and hold your breath. I'm going to set it to the front, and we've got two settings to look for. I want to leave the recirculating off, and I want to crank that on. Look at all that shit coming out of there. Look at it. And it's still fucking going. Luckily, I don't hear any grinding coming from the motor, so we don't have any twigs or anything in there, which just saves getting into an awkward bastard of a place. But here's hoping we can blow out this, because those cores even in there. I don't really want to back charge it. I don't want to push air back the other way, although that will be my last resort. But let's just crank it up.
So like I said, I'm going to crank it up, and you'll see me start to tap away around the edges of the airbox as I'm just trying to break free some of that loose debris that you'll see later on that's trapped in the bottom corner there. But as far as it goes, it just never ended. But you will get to see a better way of doing this rather than tapping and stabbing with a spanner. Mechanic things, eh?
Let's turn it off, give it some wax, and turn it back on. And look at that big puff of fucking dust.
As you can see here, that inside corner has had a lot of stuff just hit the filter and drop, and it's become solidified possibly through moisture. Who knows, but it's been an absolute mental thing to get it out. The approach that I took that ended up being successful is what you'll see here. I put the filter in to try and create a bit of a vacuum or a cyclone effect. And as you can see, I pop the lid back on, and every time I open it back up, it creates a little bit of back pressure through the dirty side. And as you can see there, it comes straight out the other side. I should have done this a few more times, and I would have had a bit more success, but this is why we make YouTube videos, so it's easier for you than it was for me. On the whole, I think it's easy to say that I achieved a 200%, if not 300% increase in what was blowing prior to me doing this little bit of maintenance. So the reason this maintenance had to be done was after a 700k drive down to Wellington to pick up the new silver CR-V, the RD7, which we'll see a little bit more on the channel later on, possibly through the end of the year. The air fans managed to block up while my girlfriend was driving back home. So for me, I was in this nice, lovely, new to me CR-V with the aircon blowing and the windows down. But for her, she was driving in essentially a sunbox. There was enough air coming out to feel cold when your hand was up there, but it wasn't blowing out.
I think that's fixed. Oh, I won't know until I get the missus to test it, because she's the one that complained about it. We'll find out together.
So here we go, putting it back together. Now you will notice on the top left hand side there's a broken bit of plastic and also a screw left in there. So when I said there was 2 8mm and 1 screw, I take that back. 2 screws, especially if you want to do it properly. But for me, a little bit of Kiwi strength was enough to get this job done and have a happy girlfriend at the end of the day. Now, another thing to note is that the reason that your airflow might not be good is simply because the black cover might have popped off. I was working on the Suzuki that you would have seen in the background of a video not long ago, and that was the exact case of that. There wasn't much flow coming through the fans, and when I got behind the glove box to have a look at it, the cap wasn't even on properly. So little things will make your life a little bit easier, so they say. And it quite literally is as easy as that. Couple of bolts, couple of screws, and it could make your whole car experience that little bit better, especially if you're going on a long road trip. You don't want to be pulling over to do this. I rate this up there with checking your engine oil, checking your radiator, and of course making sure you got snacks.
It's fixed.
Just road trip essentials, you know?
Now to vacuum the car out. God damn.
I also only removed one of the brackets from the bottom of the glove box because I thought it would be easier to remount, and it sure was.